Hello and welcome to episode 8 of BassPush interviews in conjunction with the WUB Mag, an online magazine based in Bristol covering everything underground. And today we have a special guest. He is the founder and co-owner of Bass and Bounce, an events company and record label based in the Barnstaple area. His name is Noodlez, aka Will Rogers. How are we doing today, my G? You good?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking a bit of time out of your day to come and have a chat with us. So yeah, today we just kind of want to talk a little bit about Bass and Bounce, the event side of things, the record label, the kind of future plans that you have, some of your like personal highlights that you've done so far. So let's just get started. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Bass and Bounce and the kind of things that you have done in the past?
Yeah, mate. Well, we started 2 years ago in December.
Nice.
It all sort of started just because nothing ever happens around this area. I thought nothing happens, let's make something happen.
That's it. Yeah.
It all sort of went from there. It started kind of just I was just getting into DJing really. I didn't really have a clue. Been to a couple parties and just thought, yeah, I want to do that, but indoors.
Yeah, of course,
like,
yeah.
And it sort of started out just a bit of fun. Like every couple of months, I did that. We'd book out CNR, book a sound system, take it out, and it's sort of each time it's just got just a bit bigger and a bit bigger each time. And sort of, right before like the point of COVID happening, we were sort of on that cusp of maybe like getting a bit of national recognition, getting a bit big, but obviously getting set back to square one a bit now.
Yeah. So yeah, like my last personal gig was with you guys down in Barnstaple. That was probably one of the last raves that happened in the southwest just before COVID kind of went a bit mental.
Yeah.
You're frozen.
Mate, I can hear you now.
Yeah, ideal, man. So I was just saying that my last event was a Bass and Bounce event, the last one that I mixed at, and it was absolute vibes. I love the vibes that you've created down there. Is there something that you think has like really like created that vibe? Do you think it's like a lot to do with the sound system that's there and things like that, or do you think it's mainly down to like the DJs and things like that?
Genuinely, I think it's the crowds. Like each time we've sort of been like building up. Each time we've done one, there's the same faces that came last time, plus a few more. And I feel like we just got a lot of like-minded people coming out for the same reasons. And I mean, your set, mate, popped off. There's not a set that's like
thanks, man.
Dead. No matter how many people are in the room, everyone in that room is like loving the music and is there for the music. I think like
yeah, man.
Sets out from a lot of other nights where people sort of just go for the clout.
Yeah, of course, man. And so with obviously lockdown and all of that kind of stuff, was that kind of what made you want to like start the label?
Yeah, man, it was just that lack of online presence, because before we'd be hounding people, keeping up the online presence just with gigs and promo mixes for those and that sort of thing. And over last year, I kind of went quite slack, to be fair. Sort of left it for a bit, and coming to the end of the year, I was just like, nothing going on. And if you don't keep something going, it's all going to start dying.
Of course, man. Of course, man.
Thought it's time to diversify a bit, and obviously it's just now we've got a bit more of a following. It's a good way for other people to get promotion for their stuff. We can all sort of work together and push each other together.
Yeah, that's it, man. I've got to say a big thank you for releasing the bootleg on your label.
Mate, yeah, man.
It seems to it seems so. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It seems to have done all right. So, in terms of like growth of both the label and the event side of things, is there like any particular milestones or goals or anything like that you're looking to like achieve now that there seems to be some sort of light at the end of the tunnel?
Mate, I'd like to be breaking for events. I'd like to be breaking 100 for each night. We usually sort of just done for each. But in Barnstaple, but anywhere else, it sounds like such a small amount. But for Barnstaple, that is like as good as it gets.
Especially for the size of C&R. Like I think 100 people in there, it would feel like much bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. And then I guess take it elsewhere, mate. Take it on the road. We've got our own system now. We can do what we want when we want, really. Because we've had maybe coming up nights in Bristol. But
nice.
And personally, I had sets, and I know a lot of the crew had set books up there. And it's making sure we get out there and don't just stick to what we know when we get back.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? So you've obviously started picking up the production a little bit more. When did you like kind of decide that you wanted to start making tunes and things like that?
To be fair, I've been making tunes since I was in school on and off. I was just recently, over the past year, I've owned a laptop for the first time, so I've had the equipment to do it myself. So I've sort of just been taking time to actually hone it and get my production level to where I'm happy with. Because I was talking to my girlfriend about it the other day. The stuff me and my mates in college, we like bang out beats in like half an hour. We go there, that's where I started mixing. We had a set of decks in one of the rooms in the college, and we just go down there, rip off these beats. They'd be horrible, just even done being no mix, no master. We all thought it was sick, but like I'm quite glad none of those hard drives ever got taken out of college.
Yeah, right. So with the events and things like that, now that, like we said, there is a potential end to all of this, what kind of things have you got planned? Have you got any things that are kind of like running through your head at the moment?
We've got the first night back at C&R confirmed. That is ours.
Okay,
we can do what we want, and we'll definitely be the first people there.
Nice.
It's just, to be fair, mate, I do have things on the plans, but I think the less it's said is better.
Yeah.
Tempt fate, mate. If if God's ear that I'm planning something sick,
that's it.
It'll get pushed back.
Build up a bit of anticipation,
But hopefully something that doesn't just last an evening, more something across a day. Lots of different genres, something for everyone.
So with that, are there any like particular artists that you really want to bring down that maybe you haven't contacted, or maybe that you have contacted?
To be fair, I got in contact with Fibes this morning. I saw they were looking for some shows, but honestly, just anyone who's keen to play, who I also think I kind of want to start doing some bigger names and kind of just listen. I want to be booking what people want to see. I don't just want to book stuff just because I know they'll pull a crowd. I want to know what my crowd would like to see at our nights.
Yeah, of course, man. So how do you intend on doing that? Are you gonna like maybe put some posts out on social media or something like that to see kind of what people have, because obviously people's interests and their like favorite music might have changed over the last year. So is there a way that you've got to combat like that?
Well, it's just speaking to people. I'm always paying attention to social media, seeing what trends are, and you just posting, asking people what they want to see. And on a personal level, a lot of the people who come to my nights, I know personally, I can ask, like, if we book this person, would you see them?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, that's really cool, man. So in terms of like local artists that you feel like almost need that spotlight, any names really spring up?
Oh, well, obviously you, mate, BassPush. But
bless you.
At the moment, my mate Jay Davies, he's got a couple bits up on his SoundCloud.
What's his DJ name?
I think it's JD on SoundCloud, JAY space D.
Yeah.
But he's just production on another level. If you're into like your dark rollers, heavy drum and bass, then he's definitely one to be watching.
Awesome, man. What about Odyssey? He's a good lad.
See, mate, yeah, he's making movements. So before, I remember we booked him for his first ever set, and mate, he fucking killed. I was surprised. I sort of like booked him on a whim. I saw he was local. Thought like, worst comes to worst, he'll bring his mates out anyway. So
yeah,
at least it's some crowd. But mate, now he plays, and obviously now he's gone off. He's working with Goat Shed, doing all that. Got the monthly sets. He's in his production. I mean, he's been keeping his production to himself recently. He sent me a few bits, and it's heating up, mate. It's really heating up.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to see like some like young like producer talent coming out of that area. For example, like before that, there was a bit of an exodus from Barnstaple. You had people like Chesh, people like that were kind of holding it down for the area, and they've kind of gone a little bit quiet over the years. So it's quite nice to see some fresh talent coming through.
That's it. Going back to Chesh, mate. Joe Ryan, if you are watching this, I messaged you a couple of weeks ago. Please get back to me.
Also, Joe Ryan, if you're watching this, I miss you.
We need the baseline back, mate.
Hashtag where is Chesh?
Oh mate.
No, yeah.
Turn into I am Chesh.
No, to be fair, the Barnstaple scene has always been really helpful and supportive of my music, which I've got to be really thankful for. Are there any like older heads from Barnstaple that you really want to get back to one of your events other than Chesh?
Cool. Honestly, anyone who I sort of wanted to book locally, who sort of had, it's just kind of like keeping it regular at this point. I'm more interested in booking like new names, trying to make a name for himself, trying to get big, rather than sort of older heads who've been doing it. Because from my experience, it's the older ones and people who've been doing it for longer who sort of got less interested now. Once someone new, Luke, for example, that first time I booked
Luke Hearn,
first
right?
time I booked him, he was Luke Hearn, gassed me, absolutely gassed for it. He messaged a lot of the old, it's just like, yeah, man, no worries, or yeah, I'm only gonna do it for this amount of money, and I feel like the longer you go on, the ego gets to you more.
It is a tough one. Like I know for me, I've been kind of in and around the scene for nigh on a decade now, and it's hard to keep motivated for like long periods of time. How have you managed to stay motivated throughout this whole like last year or so?
Work, mate. Honestly, I've realized through having no other income other than my main job, I really do not want to work a full-time job.
Yeah.
So just that keeps me going, because while it ain't about the money, I know one day if I push it right and do play my cards right, I do get lucky, I could make this a job.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. And like I said, the vibe that you guys create is always like second to none. So how do you intend on keeping that vibe rolling once you're back?
Oh, mate. Well, obviously, tunes, everyone's going to have their tunes up for it, but we're more looking into like our decor and our art for the event now. We've got the sounds, we've got our own system now. There's lighting and decor to really like craft and like just give it that finishing touch.
Yeah, of course, man.
Got the camera nets and a couple flashes, but like, I don't know, we want to get more into like projection mapping, lasers, all that sort of stuff that make you go from like a cool night to like a really sick rave event.
Yeah, of course, man. So do you want to talk a little bit about the sound system that you guys have built?
Oh yeah, we sort of like decided to buy that. It was originally me and two of my mates. One we ended up buying out because he didn't realise how much we wanted to go out.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it was all a bit too busy for him, but yeah, it's sort of like decided to buy a rig, started getting bits together, and then lockdown happens. But over lockdown, we've just been getting it out, sound testing it ourselves, tuning it, painting it, getting that ready. Just to feel like it is ready to be deployed. We're just
waiting.
That green light.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, mate.
So obviously you're hyped to get back on the event. Are you just as hyped to get back to in front of some speakers?
Mate, yeah, that's it. Just to be there in that moment, no matter what I'm doing.
That's it, isn't it?
Feeling that fucking 30 hertz sub, mate.
You know it. You know it. You know it. It's become my new favorite saying. I just need 30 hertz of bass in my face. That's it.
That is it.
Yeah, you know, man. You know. So in terms of like bigger artists that you might want to get involved with the label, or like even up and coming ones that have come out in the last like year, are there any names that really stand out? Doesn't have to be local.
Yeah. Well, I said we've been working with Jay. He's an up and comer.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have a EP out.
Nice.
Preview, hopefully later this year. But other than that, mate, we sort of I like to play it month to month. Sort of, I've got the next couple of months booked up with a couple of little artists.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to know what's fresh at that time, and if I book something far down the line, then how do I know I'm still gonna like it? You know?
Yeah, that's it, innit? I suppose it's a difficult decision to make, because sometimes it's best to like plan like way far ahead, but other times, like you say, you don't know what your personal like flavors are going to be in that long.
Just that, the trends in music change. Obviously, like while drum and bass and bass on whatever will always be drum and bass or bass on, it's the trend. So this time last year, everyone was all about the foghorns, and I've noticed recently we've gone back to sort of like
slightly more
dark subby rollers.
Yeah.
You wanna. I feel like if you go too far in advance, everyone's gonna be on a different trend, and while someone might have kicked it when you like, if you dropped it earlier, I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen. It's the internet age, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's true.
Likes and interest change as quick as the wind.
Yeah, people's attention spans as well have kind of dropped off a lot in the last few years. So let's just talk a little bit about your like future goals with the like events and the label. Not just like events that you like artists that you want to book, or like amounts of people that you want there. Let's talk about, the kind of like how big do you see Bass and Bounce getting in the next, like, say 5 years?
Depends how much work we put in, really. Yeah. I think we all get our heads down, everyone. So I don't want Bass and Bounce just to be mine. I want it to be a big collective of people helping each other to bring each other up, because we got people like you who've been around for longer, Hype and our promo. You've brought us up a lot. And then I just want everyone to be able to show their pieces to their scene, if you get what I mean. So,
yeah, of course, man. Of course. Well,
it's however many people I can chat enough shit to convince them to fucking get involved with us.
and so obviously, like, have you got any like number wise on SoundCloud that you really want to hit?
Mate, we're
pretty
popped 100 we just popped 100 followers on SoundCloud.
Nice.
On 500 in the next 6 months would be banging.
Yeah, right.
We get up to that. That'd be awesome.
We were quite lucky to that I didn't have to retire, weren't we? To be honest.
Yeah.
We cut it fine, didn't we? No. It's a bit of an inside joke, but for those who are interested, I kind of said to Will that if we didn't pop 100 by the end of like the weekend, then I was gonna sadly retire. But thankfully that didn't happen.
Yeah, mate, now we made it. Basically, just live another day to make music.
Yeah, of course, man, of course. So let's talk about your own personal projects for a second. So have you got any like music that you're almost ready to release?
I mean, I keep thinking my music's ready to release, then I'll listen to it a few times, like, nah,
Mm.
it'll be the next one, it'll be the next one. But I'm sort of keeping it to myself at the moment, so I've got a nice back catalogue of stuff built up.
Mm.
So I don't know, I don't want to like drop a tune and leave people waiting if I don't get back. I want to have enough tunes where I can put the bang one every month, and I don't have to work that fast to keep up. I don't really rush in to put stuff out, but I want to be able to sort of keep a regimented
Yeah.
release schedule, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course, man. I think
But
consistency is key when you're trying to build up both a brand and obviously the individual artist. So I think that is very important. It's very like wise of you as well, I'd say, because obviously for me personally, when I was coming through, I was just releasing stuff as I made it. And like I look back at some of my old productions and I'm like, so I think
yeah, that's it.
it is
I've
important to
sort
have
of
a
kept,
certain level of quality control, isn't it?
yeah, I sort of kept the rule of like, if this came up in my SoundCloud and I chucked it on,
Mm.
would I want it put on my, would I play it in my set?
Yeah, of course.
And if it doesn't sound like that, then I don't see the point. Because if I wouldn't download it if I came across it, why would anyone else? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
of course, man, of course. So obviously when I first like got to know you and the crew that you're with, it was predominantly bassline, fidget, things like that. But I've noticed in the last year that you've kind of moved your focus over to drum and bass. Was that something that you kind of had in the pipeline for a bit, or is that something that just kind of happened?
Yeah, sort. I've never really gone on to focus on one kind of music. Like if you've been to our nights, they're all pretty multi-genre. We like to chop and change it.
Mm,
But personally, I've always been in drum and bass. It's kind of just been the bits I've been liking and the bits that and the people I've been chatting to happen to be more drum and bass orientated.
yeah.
But I'm sure one day we'll probably do some more bass line and housey stuff. We'll probably do some. I'd really like to get on some drill and some garage and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. We had a little chat the other day about you making some drill and trap. How's that going for you? Are you kind of enjoying that process?
But yeah, it's a learning curve. I've sort of gone in with a different approach with that. I didn't want to use, or I kind of broke that. I want to use as few samples as possible. So I've made all my kicks, all my sub, all my hi hats, snares, all that I've
Mm,
made in Serum and Vital. Because I'm sort of producing different genres is a bit of a learning curve.
mm.
So there's such different techniques. I want to be able to apply as many different techniques as possible to music that I want to be releasing and producing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. So, when it comes to like drill and trap and things like that, are there any producers that you can think of that have kind of like influenced your kind of the work that you've been working on?
Honestly, I'm pretty new to the whole scene. I don't know much about. I know about the lyricists and stuff like that, but beats. I've sort of just like I've been listening to a bit of SL, Nux, Red Rum,
Mm.
whoever. I don't know who makes their beats, but like sort of taking my inspiration from that.
Yeah, yeah, of course, man. So, so what are your inspirations when it comes to like drum and bass and things like that?
I'm a huge old school fan. I love Hazard and all that sort of stuff.
Mm,
But I don't know, more new ones. I guess sort of like Gray and Crossy.
yeah,
They're killing it right now.
yeah.
So I don't know. I like those. I'm not really like a high pitch. I like my drum and bass sort of more rolling and chilled out, more subby rather
Mm,
than in your
yeah,
face. If you get what I mean.
yeah, of course, man. So have you got any like particular raves over the last few years that you've attended, either as an artist or as a fan, that really like stick out as ones that you like I've really enjoyed or that really popped off or anything like that?
It's a good one.
And for this, you're not allowed to say bass and bounce.
Yeah, no, mate. I thought that was going to be a rule because obviously, if I was, any bass and bounce might have been. But no, genuinely, I think it was New Year's before. Yeah, last New Year's when we was allowed to do stuff. I played. You also played that night in Jangle, mate, and that's sort of like.
That was a lot of fun. That one.
Yeah, mate. It
That
put
was
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
thoughts
fun.
in my mind to production and decor and stuff because they just the whole night it didn't feel like you were just going to an event. It was thought out, like it was
Yeah, of
planned.
course, man.
Like,
I have got to give you a special shout out for that night, man. You saved my bacon.
oh, because someone forgot their USB.
I forgot. All right, I forgot one of my USBs. All right.
Yes, all right. Now I'll come in anytime someone comes to me and says, "Oh, Will, could you play some music?" I'll never say no.
yeah, right. So
I can.
let's just talk a little bit about TLJ as well, because he seems to have been a big help along the way for you. Is there like, how did you guys meet? How did you guys start like kind of working together?
I've known Tom. Well, he was on my college course for about a week till he dropped out. That's sort of like where I first heard of him. Honestly, just going to sort of parties and stuff. I sort of started doing the events, and he kind of like got inspired and started doing the same. And from there, we've always worked quite closely together. Like, we've done a sound clash. We've done a few like nights we've collabed on. And with the sound system now, we actually it isn't just like half of it is they're calling themselves rigid audio now. So they got two of the bins in the tops, and we got more bins to go with them and kicks.
So is knees up no more then, or?
No, right. Knees up is what they're doing for the like legal
Right.
event side of
Okay.
it, all
Yeah,
their
I feel you.
promotions, and then rigid audio is just like
Sound
their
system.
sound system name. So I
Yeah, I
see
feel
when I
you.
post it, you'd see like knees up, powered by rigid audio.
Right. Okay. I feel you. I feel you. So for those who don't know, Knees Up is another events company that kind of popped up out of the Barnstaple area in the last couple of years, and they've worked quite closely with Bass and Bounce. Just quickly though, where did you find the name Bass and Bounce?
I actually, it just sort of just came into my head.
Yeah.
I don't know because for ages, I still have the old logos. We were before I told him about it. Was Bounce and Bass. I think it was my ex at the time said like, "Nah, that sounds weird. Like it's got to be Bass and Bounce."
Right.
And
Okay.
like, yeah, that is right. And I don't know. It sort of just clicked.
Yeah, of course, man. Who does all your artwork? Because that's really dope.
Obviously you've done a few bits of it in the past, but other than that, I've done it all myself, mate.
So did you design the logo and all that?
Nah, the logo that was Charlie Gush, aka Selector Strange, depending on how you know him. He's one of the boys over at Land Rover.
Shout outs, Charlie.
Yeah, mate. One of the few people who I admit has a better 4x4 selection than me.
Oh,
one of the few.
Oh, nice. So yeah, again, in case anyone doesn't know, Land Rover are a collective from, I believe they're from Somerset. I want to say. I know. I know Owen's from Somerset. And so you've worked quite closely with them with their sound system and stuff like that. How did that kind of relationship kind of spawn? Oh, we got some frozenness. Hello, you're back. Wicked, man, wicked.
No, just about to message you. Tell you my Wi-Fi's cut out. I think it's back on now.
Awesome. Yeah, we're back on. So yeah, I was just touching on your like relationship with Land Rover and the people involved with Land Rover. How did that kind of relationship spawn? Was that through free parties or?
Yeah, man. My mate. introduced me to Nathan Greaves, God rest his soul, at a party. I think it's a couple years. Yeah, it can't be last. It must be the year before, 2018.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2018. Yeah, introduced me, and they I think it's Rave and Oddtech had a stage at this party, just playing 4x4 all night, and I mate managed to blag me a set because he knew all that lot, and sort of like
just kind of spun from there.
4x4. Everyone else hates our tunes, so we got someone to listen.
Awesome, man. So we've spoken about artists that you wanna bring in to both the label and the events. Do you want to just give a quick shout out to any people that you've booked so far that we haven't already mentioned?
Big shout out to Nostalgia, Marcus Ellison. He's like also doing events in Barnstaple, but like has always been killing the breakbeat.
Mm.
And yeah, Jacob Hewlett from Carnage Sound System smashing out the core, man.
That set at the last one that we did was so rude, man. Like
I always like to leave the last couple of sets just for some like tech and some hardcore, because about like midnight after 12, most people sort of like slip off into Fever, which is like the only other nightclub in town.
Yeah.
So after that, it's sort of like the only people left are like the proper ravers.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Jacob's always been really sound. Carnage Sound have been killing it for years, to be honest with you.
That's it.
Isn't it? So are there any other local crews that you really want to work with?
Cool. Yeah, I think in one way or another, most of the crews that I'd call local sort of our area, in some way, shape or form, we have worked with, whether we've like booked their DJs or, you know, used their sound. So but honestly, like I want to book as many local people as possible. And if there are people who are still DJing locally that I haven't booked, then like I guess tracking them down and getting them on.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. So let's talk about your production a bit more. What are you using?
Ableton, just Ableton straight up with Serum and Vital occasionally for some like more layery sounds, just you got that option to have more wavetables. Yeah, man, I like to keep it simple just because otherwise I just get confused, man.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
Stuff, controllers, things like that. I'd rather you just put a laptop in front of me. I can sit there and I know what's on.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it. Are there any like?
Yeah, I feel like more.
We'll carry on.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, just gonna say. I feel like the more things you add into the mix, that's one more thing in the signal chain to go wrong.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's finding that like nice middle ground between like obviously having enough layers and then having too many layers.
Yeah, that's it.
So did you go to college to learn the basics of production, or did you do something totally different at college?
Kind of. I went to college to do music performance.
Right.
And obviously the part of that was like we did a couple very short modules on production. But other than that, I'm sort of my production's just I've watched some YouTube videos and gone from there really.
So predominantly self-taught then.
Yeah, man. Well, I say my actual production of music, self-taught, mixing and mastering, that I did actually learn at college.
I think that's that's always been like my downfall is the mixing and mastering. I think you almost have to go and like learn that. I don't think that's something that you can kind of pick up by ear.
It is like a whole art in and of itself. I mean, the difference between like a good master and a bad master, in my opinion, is like the difference between a track making it, a track not. You can produce the best track ever that everyone loves, but if the master isn't sounding good, and compared to other tracks, that sound quality isn't up there.
That's it.
It's not going to make it up the chart, because if it sounds if it sounds bedroom produced, that
Mm.
is the level it will get to. It will only get to that sort of like, you know, few thousand likes here and there, a few thousand plays. If you want to extend that, I mean, at some point, if I want to start, I'm already said like, I will pay for someone else to master my tracks. I think
Mm.
that's just if
I think it's
you see,
something that you get what you get out what you put in, don't you? So obviously,
that's it.
if you
That's
want
it.
if you want to get up to the like real high standards, then um, you almost have to pay. If you know what I mean, it's a bit of a shame, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
but at the
uh,
same time, these people that you are paying have probably paid, you know, thousands and thousands in university fees, whatever, to go and become a mixing engineer or a mastering engineer, because their art was in and of itself like
mm,
beyond production.
yeah, of course, man, of course. So, where can people get at you if they want to either released on the label or they want to like come and play at your events or anything like that? Where can they get at you?
Mate, best place, Facebook every time. It's like the only social media that I'm like active on all the time, or
Okay.
our email, which is bassandbounce@gmail.com. No apostrophes, no punctuation, just one word.
Ideal, man. So just quickly before we wrap up, how has COVID affected like your process? Obviously, you've been working all the way through, but you know, in terms of like sitting down, making music, have you found any like mental health side effects from it or anything?
Just the boredom. Like before, I'd come home, I'd be doing something all day. I'd come in, like I'd jump on my tune for a few hours, get some bits done, get like whatever done with bass and bounce. But now I have so much more time to do it. I
Mm.
feel just like I don't have. It's hard finding the drive. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, fully.
yeah, I can do it right now, but like I could also do it tomorrow. So
Yeah, yeah, that's it,
it's
innit?
almost like, yeah, I mean, like the busier I feel like the busier I am, the more shit I get done. And because I ain't been that busy, it's
Mm,
sort of, I mean, I've let a lot of things slide. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, no, there's nothing to break up the day anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it. So just like obviously we touched on it briefly there, but mental health has obviously been like a big thing over the last like year or so. How have you been like coping with that extra boredom? How have you been coping with like, you know, the obvious like restrictions that we've been under, and obviously sadly some of the people that we've lost and things like that? How have you been coping?
To be fair, man, not too badly. Oh, I'll be frozen.
No, 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 we're good.
Oh, nice back. It's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've not been too bad, but that's mainly because, uh, mainly because I've been working and people I work with, I get on with pretty well. We chat and stuff. So I've still had that sort of like human interaction. I've lived with my family as well. So
Yeah.
I really do see how someone, you know, living on their own, if they was working, you know, hospitality or something, how they've basically just been locked inside on and off for a year. I mean, I'd be ripping my hair out, mate. I don't,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't do it. Like,
yeah.
yeah, mate. As much as I joke around saying, "Oh, I'd love to go on furlough," like, that'd be brilliant. They can come do my job. It's like at the same time, like I've got a livelihood and like at least I've like got something to do. You know what I mean? Something to fill up my time with.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. So so yeah, is there anything else that you want to talk about, or that um you want to say before we wrap up?
Mate, I think I've done my talking for the year, mate.
Bless, man. Nah, that's cool, man. Well, thank you very much for taking a bit of time out of your day to come and have a chat with us. And yeah, like I look forward to working with you again in the future.
Awesome, mate. Yeah, me too. It'd be awesome.
Be good to see you front left again.
Oh, mate, yeah. It'll have to be done. It'll have to be done. All in good time, mate.
Yeah, that's it. No rush, no rush. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to BassPush interviews. in conjunction with the Wub magazine, an online magazine based in Bristol covering everything underground. You can find them at www.thewubmag.com or on Facebook at The Wub or on SoundCloud or at The Wub and also on Instagram at The Wub Mag. Thank you very much, Noodlez, for coming in. I've been BassPush. He's been Noodlez. And yeah, we've been the Wub Mag. And I hope you all have a lovely day. Cheers, guys.